myself and Mike are getting together to play a demo game through of Pukeapocalypse. I'll be talking through the rules as we go and hopefully teaching the game and having some fun. First of all, we'll want to roll up to see what our scumbags are. You can roll a d6 or just choose. So I'll roll for my guys. I've given them some names here. And my guys are going to be Vom cultists. And Mike, if you want to roll a d6 for your guys.
I've got a 6.
Okay, so you've got the psychobillies. The Vom cultists are about manipulating the chi of Vom, and the psychobillies have weird psychic powers that they can use if they create loops of puke tokens on the tabletop. So each got a basic ability. We're not playing sort of gangs that have been through a campaign, so they haven't got much gear and extra stuff.
How many dudes do we start with?
5 dudes is the standard. You can play with as many people as you like in Pukeapocalypse, just long as you don't end up with more than 15 guys. So if you have 3, 4, 5 players, you just round down the number of people each. The Vom cultist's starting ability is Be the Wave. If a Vom cultist places a bile token on the scumbag, if the Vom cultist controlling player has more bile tokens in hand than the other scumbag has in their guts, the Vom cultist may discard any bile tokens the Vom cultist spewed this activation. And the psychobillies, if a psychobilly places a bile token that completes a loop around a single scumbag, the psychobilly may discard any number of bile tokens in the pit, not gunking scumbags. Basically, when you spray Vom, you're going to leave a trail of tokens that lead right back to you. So the extra abilities that you start off with are ways of taking your tokens back off again and reducing the blowback that you're going to receive. Shall we roll to see which of the time wasters we're going to be playing? So 5 is Hunt the Pickle. Take 6 pickle markers, sharing them equally amongst players who take turns placing on the pit. No pickle marker may be within 6 inches of another marker, and then make everywhere look like a real shithole. So we can use these to be the objective markers.
Okay.
Okay, so no closer than 6 inches. So you've got your measuring template that's included with the book. There's enough for each player. Every measurement in the game is going to be one of the measurements on this template. So the 6 inches is obviously the long measurement on there. Mm-hmm. I'll put down the first pickle marker, so I'll pop that there. So Mike, if you put one anywhere further than 6 inches away, I'll stick one down here.
I'll stick one there.
And one there.
And I think I can probably just squeeze one on the edge of the table there, so I'll put one over there.
Great. At the end of a round, if a scumbag is within 1 inch of a pickle marker and there are no enemies within 1 inch of the marker, they can claim it. When they claim it, they roll a d6, adding 1 for each pickle marker that has already been claimed. The result is 6 or more. This is 1 true pickle. Place the pickle marker in the claiming scumbag's guts and remove all others from the pit. The result is 5 or less. Place the pickle marker on their band sheet for now. If a scumbag that claimed the 1 true pickle dies or sacks it off, place the pickle marker in their place representing the 1 true pickle. Any scumbag that touches it may claim it, move it to their guts. If a scumbag carrying the 1 true pickle touches the edge of the pit, remove them, they've escaped with it. This ends if a scumbag escapes with the 1 true pickle. Whoever didn't claim any pickle markers when the brawl ends definitely loses. Anyone who didn't escape with the 1 true pickle just loses. The first thing we want to do for our scumbags is roll a d6 for each of them to see how many bile tokens they begin the game with in their guts. 4 there. Not much bile for me. And 3. Boop, boop, boop. Okie dokie. And we roll a dice to see who gets the first turn marker. 6, me. So, first turn marker. I'm going to place a scumbag in the pit further than 6 inches from a pickle marker and further than 3 inches from an enemy. So I'm going to pop down the lady off in this corner. All right. So, Mike, you can place your scumbag further than 6 inches from a pickle marker and 3 inches from an enemy. So the 3 inches is that fat side over there.
I'm going to put him there. Yep. good.
Right, so turn of Pukeapocalypse has 2 parts, the moving and the puking. Take it in turns, activating 1 model each for each phase. So I move something, Mike moves something until everyone's moved, and then I puke, Mike pukes until everyone's puked, and then we start a new round. So I'm going to start off by moving Nana here. So movement is pretty simple. Up to 4 inches is standard. So you move to where you're going, pop yourself down, and then if you cross something, you roll to see what it does. So I think this is just general garbage. So I'm going to roll on the garbage table. Creeped something in there, weirded them out so much they cheese it. Scumbag walks 4 inches away from the closest part of the garbage that calls a roll. So he's going to go...
Uh-oh, more garbage.
So he's going to end up into some more garbage. So again, he's going to roll to see how he feels about this new bit of garbage. 4, check it out. You see something amazing in there, something wondrous, like a puddle in the shape of Jesus or some nice pens, placed in the centre of the garbage that calls the roll. So I think that's kind of the centre. So there we go. That's where Nana's going to end up.
Cool.
And so it's Mike's turn to move somebody.
I am going to make a run for a pickle. I'm going to walk into the middle of this slime,
Okay.
thus requiring me to find out how I feel about it. I feel 4 about it.
So again, that's check it out. So you're going to go into the very centre of the thing because you've seen something absolutely wondrous. So simple little move here. The lady just moving across.
Mike is going to try the same trick.
Okay. See how Mike fails.
1.
He hits Invomio. The thing contained a little vom wizard, double the number of bile tokens in the scumbag's guts. The wizard considers this a great blessing.
Mike had 2.
Okay, I'm going to move Cornhole here over to there. So she stepped into this puddle. Let's see what that does. 2 Bellagio's. Maybe a branch catches in the duodemon, or they just think of that time Rancid sicked his own eyes out, but it's a belly fountain time, they immediately puke. Cornhole has 3 bile tokens in her guts. So whenever you puke, the sequence is the same. You decide whether you're trying to hold it in or letting it go. If you try to let it go and you don't hit somebody with a bile token, you'll burst. So that would be a really bad idea at the moment because I'm miles away from the nearest enemy. I'm going to try and hold it in. Whenever you puke, you roll 1 dice for each puke token in your guts. If you roll triples, you burst. Cornhole has 3 bile tokens in her guts, so theoretically she could burst, so I will at least roll.
So, triple for the roll.
No, she's fine. Since she's held it in, she gets an additional bile token.
Thumbs up.
Okay, and going to start the goon running down the back here. You can go over there.
It's going to dash towards that one.
And Wrench is going to go for moving through here.
To there.
Okie dokie, so everyone has moved. We're moving into the puking phase now. So I went first in the move phase, so Mike's going to go first in the puking phase. I think there's mostly going to be attempts to hold it in because everyone's a long way away from each other. Mm-hmm. But so Mike, pick somebody to either let it go or hold it in.
So I'll go with, is it best to start dangerous or not dangerous? What's the strat here?
I mean, in this particular instance, I don't think there's a huge amount of difference because we're going to have to hold it in.
Oh, okay.
If you could actually puke onto somebody, then it does make a bit of a difference.
All right, well, I'm going to, just for the sake of drama, I'm going to start with the smallest ones. So Neil is going to try and hold it in. He's got 2, so he can't...
He can't burst.
And then he gets another one?
Yeah, so for holding it in, you add a bile token to your guts if you haven't burst. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with the lady. She's got 1 bile token in her guts, so obviously she can't burst, but roll for the sake of appearances.
Mm-hmm. And who have I got next? I've got... Rick's got 3, so... Nearly a triple six.
Okay, close, nearly.
So he gets another one. You're going next.
I'll go with the goon over there. He's also only got one, so he's going to be okay. I rolled a lot of ones for my starting bile tokens.
Mike's got 4.
Ooh, no. Very close. Go with Wrench. Again, he's only got one bile token, so he's going to be absolutely fine. Add one to him.
Grandpa's got 5.
Okay.
Bursting could start occurring.
No,
some doubles, but no triples, so he gets another one.
Nana is on 4. Nope, Nana's fine.
Viv's got 5. That's cocked.
Okay. It's okay because
It's a 3.
Was that one a 3 before you knocked it with the other one?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, well in that case,
So you get to teach how bursting works.
well, in this particular instance, so what happens is Viv is going to burst. He can lay down his bile tokens to see if he could potentially tag. Oh, he's all the way over on the side, so I think. Oh. Hello.
That's super weird. All right, try that again. So
Okay.
So Viv is going to burst. How does that work?
So you would lay down the bile tokens to try and puke across the table. I don't think even at a stretch those 5 tokens are going to reach over to cornhole, but you may as well lay the 5 down.
Okay, so I take the tokens from his sheet, and then I have a go at.
So each token has to be either touching you, touching a token or touching a token that you placed, or that changed you. So he's not managing to get to anybody, and then he bursts. So he is gone, splattering everywhere in a shower of guts and vomit.
Well, his contribution was short-lived.
Yeah, I mean, you can obviously potentially burst on the very first activation. The thing about Pukeapocalypse is, first of all, the whole idea is that games play super fast.
Yeah.
So you should get through a game in like half an hour and potentially play a few games in a session or an evening. The other thing is, you don't get to advance your scumbag's abilities until he dies. So once you've been through at least one game and picked up some experience, bursting actually ends up being kind of a handy thing. So it's not too much of a downside, really. Okay, that's the first round. So on to the second round. And again, hello, are you dribbling on me?
Good boy, boy.
I'm gonna at the end of each round pass the first player token. So here, you can have this first player token. You get to move first.
I am going to move Neil from his place here up to grab this pickle. I moved through some stuff.
Okay.
That's a 1.
So that is in Vomio. That's the puke wizard again. So double the number of bile tokens in Neil's guts.
In this case, Neil's got 3, so he gets 3 more.
Okay.
That wizard that's haunting that scum pool.
And as I was going to before, I'm just going to move Nana up to this pickle token.
When do we pick the pickle tokens up?
At the end of the round, so Neil's going to have to survive bursting and also possibly being puked off it if
Perfect.
if I can get within vom range.
I can sort of walk round.
You can walk over things and then take a test for them. That looks like a lump to me, so we'll roll.
I'm going to hop over this lump to get to this token.
Okay.
So I'm going to scooch to there.
And then you're going to roll on the lump table.
Yep. That's a 5.
Just. They managed to land in a not totally ungainly heap, not damaging anything.
Perfect.
Okay. I'm going to go for moving cornhole here up to try and get in range to blast Neil off of that token with a vom stream.
So is that a lump and some garbage?
I was thinking it's just going to be through the garbage rather than through the lump, but
Sure.
we'll go that way to make it just garbage for simplicity's sake. So garbage 5.
You're fine. That's...
Creeped, something in there weirded them out so much they cheese it. Scumbag walks 4 inches away from the closest part of the garbage that caused the rolls. So she's going to go over to here.
Moving through a creep.
Yep, so unfriendly scumbag, roll to see what happens. Swapping sick, you both end up with a bit of each other's sick on you, which is worse than your own, so you each brew a bile token. So we get one bile token each.
Bile token. That's like 7 for me.
9 is the point where it's like, you're genuinely very, very likely to be popping. Hello, you. Hello, you.
Cats work on YouTube. Top YouTube content. Yeah.
Okay, you to move, Mike.
I am going to. I'm going to move in a straight line, like that.
Okay, and I'm going to have the lady run up to this token.
And I'm going to move Mike up. When they burst, do they infect people nearby?
Not if it's a basic bursting. You can burst from a sudden unpleasant impact if you fall off something.
5 for garbage is creeped, so they're going to walk 4 inches away.
Okay.
So that's over a lump and then through some garbage. So I'll do the lump first.
Yep.
3 is douche.
Something dangling cracks the ledge as they hurdle, so they brew a BT, so it's going to go into their guts. And then for the garbage, so Bellagio's, they immediately puke. So you've got an option here to either hold it in or let it out. So if you manage to tag somebody with a bile token, you can start pushing them around with it.
I'm going to puke.
Okay.
I think I can tag the lady.
Okay, so first of all, you roll for the bile tokens in your guts to see if you burst. You are okay, there's no trips there. Okay, so lay the tokens down. You don't have to be super precise. It's
Okay.
okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is the first one that's going to touch you.
Okay, so when you are overlapping somebody with a bile token, you have a choice. You can just lay it down and have it as is, or you can try to blast them around using the bile token. To blast them around, you take a test. Every test in Pukeapocalypse is rolled d6, 4 or more successful. If you're successful, you can then place the scumbag anywhere touching the bile token you just laid. If you're unsuccessful, you remove the bile token you just laid. But whenever you take a test, you can strain yourself to try and make it more successful. You can put a bile token in your guts. For each bile token you put in your guts, you get to add +1 for the dice you're about to roll. And you can make it an automatic success by taking a full 3 bile tokens. So do you want to roll, and do you want to strain for it?
I do want to roll, I don't want to strain.
Okay, so on a 4+. Nope, so you have to remove that bile token.
Okie doke. And then I'll put down this last one here.
Okay.
And in this case, I am going to strain.
Okay.
So I will take one more.
Just one?
Put it in his guts.
Okay.
Will I puke that immediately?
No, that'll be the next time you puke. So that'll be +1 to this roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can place that anywhere touching the bile token.
Here.
Okay. And since we have finished an out sequence of puke, we now, each token that's touching a scumbag goes into their guts. So the lady will get one. Boop, and Mike will suck back up that last bit, dribbling down his lips, and the remaining 3 go back into the supply. So I'm going to have Wrench move over here. It's definitely within range and clear ground. So him and the old man will end up having a puke off. And so the goon is going to go for running up to this bile token. Okay, so it's a new puke phase. So this one's got some action going on here. I'm going to start with Cornhole. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bile tokens. 5. See if she bursts. Nope, she does not burst. So how many vom tokens does Neil have in his guts?
7.
Okay, so I can't out-vom you, so I'm not going to be able to remove these tokens. I'm going to get washed back either way. But I'm going to put down the first token, and I'm going to take a test to shove you back with it, and I'm going to strain for 2.
Mm-hmm.
So +2 to the dice roll. Okay, so we'll blast Neil back space. And then I'm going to place another token. And again, I'm going to take 2 bile tokens on the strain to try and blast you back again. 2, 3, 4, so that's okay. And so the remaining bile token, actually I'll put you, no, I don't think you're in my arse there, so I'll just dump the other bile tokens onto you there. Cornhole has successfully blasted Neil away from the puke tokens with her vom stream and dumped some tokens on him so that he'll pick them up if he survives to the end of the phase. So now it's your turn to pick somebody to puke.
I will go with Grandpa and try and puke wrench.
Okay.
So Grandpa's got 6 tokens.
Okay.
I am going to put 1 down there, which touches you straight away, I think. It wouldn't make any sense to push you, so I'm just going to put another one down and try and push you with this next one.
Yep.
So I'm going to put 1 more down. So blap, and then I will take 2 into my guts to get a +2 on this. So you get blasted.
So, pick me up, place the token.
So you get
Place
blasted against that wall.
So if you smash me into a wall, I'll get an immediate bile token for being slammed by a stream of puke pinned to a wall.
Yeah, and then I can just pile the rest of them next to you.
If you're pretty sure that I'm further than 1 inch away from that bile token, that would be the way to go.
I see.
I assume that you're trying to blast me off of the pickle marker.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go with the next one. We'll go for another blast. We'll take 2 tokens again. So, yep.
Okay.
So I'm going to blast you around the corner here. Like that. So you take another bile token by being bonched into it.
Okay.
And then
Stack them up.
so that isn't quite surrounded, is it?
Oh, you mean to make a loop? No, I don't think that's going to count as a
I
loop.
need 1 more there.
Yeah, you need to sort of touch round. No, I don't think that's going to make your loop, I'm afraid.
But they're all touching you anyway.
Yeah, that's the important point. Okay, I'm going to go to Wrench, who's going to try and blast Grandpa also off of the pickle marker. So he's got 4 bile tokens in his guts. So if he bursts...
Did I ever make a burst check for Grandpa?
Yeah, I thought you did.
Oh, okay, great.
I thought so anyway. So first one I'm going to place under you and try and shove you. I'm going to take 2 bile tokens to add 2 to the roll. 2. Yeah. So I'm going to shove you to there. Boop, boop, boop. Right. Now, because I'm got you in my face, I'm facing you, because I'm facing that way, you were facing that way, I could place an additional bile token on the first one that I touch you with. But since I'm planning to blast you even further backwards, there's very little point. But I will do just in case I fail both of these next 3 blasts, which weirder things have happened. So I go for another blast, again adding 2 bile tokens to +2 to the roll. Okay, yeah, that's going to knock you back again. And then I'm just going to drop these last 2 bile tokens on you.
Neil is got
On 7.
7, so we'll roll 7 dice first.
So he bursts, he does, 666.
Okay, so he still gets to puke before he bursts, which is the
Fantastic.
important point.
Outrageous.
So I'm going to connect the puke and pop it here.
Yeah. You cannot strain if you have burst.
Yeah, fair enough.
You also can't strain if you've got 13 bile tokens in your guts,
yeah,
because
that's
once
true.
you get to 13, who cares?
So push,
Okay.
and then I'll put another one down.
Okay.
And I'll push you off the table.
Okay, so I contest to resist being pushed off the table.
Okay.
And equally, I can strain to avoid being pushed off the table. So you've got how many more tokens left there?
I've got another 5 attempts at spewing you off the table, but obviously I'll have to roll a 4 up each time.
Yeah, I know. But obviously, I've got 4 bile tokens on me. So if I fully strain against every one of those pushes and they're successful, I'll have very little chance of surviving to pick that token up. But for first strain, I'm going to put 2 in. So straining to not be pushed off the table. Yes, so she successfully resists being pushed.
Okay, so I'll pop another token down. We know where it is. That is a successful squirt.
Okay, I'm going to take a token to see if I can resist just the 1 this time. I rolled a 1, so even if I'd put 2 on, I wouldn't have made it. So I've been blasted off the table by a high pressure stream of puke. And then Neil also bursts from the effort of blasting me. Right, I'm going for Nana. He's going to go for, what have we got, 3, 4, 5. I don't think I can usefully reach Mike if I puke. So Nana is going to go for holding it in. Right. 4 6s there, so Nana's going to burst
Pop.
in a shower of his own bile.
I'm going to go with Mike, who's going to attempt to hold it in. He's only got 2, so he's going to successfully hold it in and a token.
Okay, Goon is going to go for holding it in. He's only got 2, so he's going to be successful and pop a token on.
Finally, Rich is going to go to hold it in. He's only got 4
missed Rich over
tokens.
So he successfully holds it in,
And he
gains a token, and the lady is going to go for holding it in successfully, so she gains a token. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, and then end of the bile phase, everybody puts any tokens that are touching them into their guts. So Wrench here is going to pick up these 4 tokens, as the old man is going to get those 3.
Right, so Grandpa gets these ones. They go into his guts.
And then all the ones that aren't touching anybody just get cleared off.
They soak into the tarmac.
Yes, presumably into the sands of the wastes. Then end of the round. I'm not within 1 inch of the pickle marker, but Rick there is within 1 inch of a pickle marker. So do you want to roll to see if it is the one true pickle?
It's the one true pickle!
It is the one true pickle.
Yes!
So put that into Rick's guts.
It is the one true pickle!
It is. So there's not going to be a loser because
Did he eat the one true pickle? Is that why it's in his guts?
Presumably he has immediately ingested the one true pickle. So generally, if you find a false pickle marker, you at least have the chance to lose rather than definitely lose. In this particular game, it's going to be a winner and or 2 definite losers, or a winner and 1 definite loser, because it's all about Rick trying to get off the table with the pickle still in him, or somebody getting off the table with the pickle in them. Okay, so new round. I'm going to get to move first this time. Right, in context of the new information, there's only one thing to do, and that's try and hunt Rick down. So the lady is going to try and go over to here.
Run the fuck away. I've got it, lads. Let's go.
So Wrench is going to go for going through this lump. So let's see what the lump does to him. 5 for a lump is just. They land in a not totally ungainly heap, not damaging anything.
So Gramps is going to run interference by hopping over this lump.
Okay.
A 4 is just, so he's fine.
Okay. And the goon is going to go straight into this puddle of toxic waste
That might be enough.
towards Rick. 2 is going to be Bellagio's. So goon is going to immediately puke. He's only got 3 tokens. He's going to go for holding them in. Let's see. Yep, no, he's good. So 1 more onto the goon.
Yeah, Mike's going to leg it. Way up, guys.
Okay. So puke phase. You're going to get to puke first.
I'm going to get to puke first. I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with Grandpa.
Okay.
He got a lot. He got a lot of tokens, so he's got 7 that he needs to deal with. Does he burst?
He does not burst.
Nice. Okay, so we'll blast you back into this. We'll attempt to blast you back into this Ford Capri. I am going to take 2 tokens into my belly.
Okay,
so
so
successfully
place me.
blast you into the Capri.
Okay, so I'll take a token for being smashed into something.
Yep. And then, how many tokens does it take to get a loop?
Well, generally from just one person, it's quite difficult. If you like cross your streams, you can
I see. Yeah.
you can encircle people. So the psychobillies are a bit more of a tactical team. Actually, it takes a bit more planning for them.
So pushed back.
Okay.
Pushed back. Not pushed back.
So if the not pushed back one gets removed.
Oh yeah, the not pushed back one goes removed, but we'll put another one in the same spot. Okay, so I've pushed you off the table.
So I will strain. Let's see. Wrench is on a lot of tokens. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he's going to strain for 2 to put him on 11. I think there's a very high chance that he's going to burst this bomb, but we'll see. Is that a 6? So that's good. He resists being smashed off the table.
Okay, but the token stays there, so I'm going to try an additional one.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I have
resisting.
1. Yes, I'm going to resist. So I can take up to 2 more tokens because that will put me on the dreaded 13. I'm going to take the 2, and then if you make that last, you haven't strained or anything, have you? So I'm going to put 1 in to give this a +1 to the roll. Okay, so I successfully resist.
Mm-hmm. And then yes, I'm going to triple strain for an automatic on this.
Okay. And so 13th token is going to go into Wrench's guts for a +1 on this roll. No! So Wrench goes off the table, and presumably somewhere in the distance there's a sickening wet noise of him exploding because he's got enormous amounts of bile in his guts. Okay, so I go with the lady. 4 tokens. She's not going to be able to do much with that, so she's going to try and hold it in. Yep, she's okay. So 1 more goes into her guts.
Okay, so the I'm going to go with the important one next, which is Rich has got 5 in his tummy.
Okay.
Does he burst? I'm going to go for holding it in.
Okay. No. We'll give that as a 3. Oh, are we wrong yet? Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
Right, so what happens when the pickle maker...
The pickle is left in a pool of viscera and puke where he was stood, and he bursts off the table.
No!
So
Rich got
close.
too overexcited.
Okay. And the goon is going to go for holding it in, so he's on 4. He's okay. So one more token goes in.
Right, so I've got just Mike, who's only got 3. So hopefully, Mike is not going to. Yeah, I'm going to hold it in because there's no way I'm getting it in there. Yeah, we
Okay,
are
you're
looking
all
fine.
good.
So it gets another one.
Yep. So it is your turn to move next. Once the one true pickle is revealed, you touch it, it can go into your guts.
Grandpa goes there, these get cleared up.
Yeah.
So yeah, should be able to get there with Mike.
Okay.
Gulp.
Goon is going to come up to here.
Mm-hmm.
He's moved through some garbage. So one is the little puke wizard, doubles the number of puke tokens in his guts. So he goes from 5 to 10.
Yikes.
2, 3, 4, 5.
That may work out for me. I am going to move to there and
over
take
the
a
lump.
hop test. Oops.
Oop.
That's cocked.
Yep. Keep in the pool.
1.
Number 1, blah, you catch them in just the wrong place, they immediately puke.
Oh! Oh!
So potentially an opportunity to get Goon back a little bit.
Alright, so I'm going to put one basically on top of him.
First to roll to see if you're going to burst.
Oh yes, okay, so I've got 6 tokens, so
Okay.
6 dice. Do we burst? Uh-oh, that was a 5.
That was a 5.
That was a 5.
Okay, so the old man will be bursting, but he gets his chance to puke
Puke
first of all.
Okay, this is fine. So I'll put one on the brute and try
Okay.
and push him back.
Yep.
So,
You can't
I
strain
can't
because you've
strain.
burst.
but we do push him back.
Okay.
So I'm going to push him back just to the edge. I guess if I put him in there, does he have to make a roll?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put him there.
So is he in the garbage?
Yeah, he's on the edge of the garbage here.
Okay, so let's see what happens. 4, which is check it out. So they immediately move to the middle of the garbage.
All right, that's a decent outcome. And then I can lay these out here. And I'm not going to push him. There's going to be like 1 wobbling there.
Yep.
And 2 touching.
Okay, so those 2 are going to go off into his guts.
Mm-hmm. That's a big pile of puke.
There's a big pile of puke. I think that's 12. So
And then this goes off into...
and then that goes away. Oh, the one that's touching the old man goes back into his guts, and the other 3 go back into the supply.
And then Grandpa... Oh, I didn't need to take his guts because he's dead now.
Yeah, true. Right, and then the lady is going to go to here. Right, puking. So me first. I'm going to start with the goon. He's got 12 in his gut, so it is theoretically possible that he won't burst.
Holy... No, 3s.
Oh yeah, there you go. 1, 2, 3. For a second there, I was like, I yahtzeed it, but no, I was missing a 1. Very close. Never mind. Okay, so we will.
So still gets to puke, but will burst.
Yeah. Doop doop doop. Well, since there's no straining to be done, I may as well roll for anything I can move you with. So no, that goes off. This one. No, that goes off, so we'll call that one. Yeah. From a near incredible roll to an incredibly bad set of rolls.
Oh! Oh!
So I'm just going to leave the last one on, so at least he adds a bile token at the end of the phase. And then the goon is gone. Okay, so Mike.
Okay, so the moment of truth, really. So he's got 4 in his guts. So let's have a little look here. Oh, I'm going to re-roll that one, but it's going to be fine. So he does not burst.
Okay. Is he holding it in?
No, I'm going to puke.
Okay.
That's a shove.
Okay. It won't make a grand deal of difference because I can puke back down your stream.
Oh, that's why I wouldn't puke.
So if you do that, I basically can dump all 5 of my puke tokens directly onto you. But if you don't do that, you add 1 to your guts, which will put you on
5
6.
anyway.
Yeah, and then I can still reach you. So it's a judging the distance and making a tactical decision about whether puking is going to leave you with more bile or less.
I'm going to push you. No. And then I'm going to push you again. Yes, so you can't puke down it because it got taken away.
Well, yes, but...
Oh, but you can connect it with 1.
Yeah, so the lady puking back, 3, 4, 5.
Bursty. Burst!
Okay, she's still going to get to puke, so Mike might not make it off the table because... So, first one goes in there.
And then the streams are
Then
connected.
these are going to go dumping on top. Now, we haven't particularly seen this before because everyone's been aligned weirdly. If you have somebody directly in front of you when you first lay a token on them, they're in your face. Equally, if you're directly in front of them, you're in their face. You get to add 1.
When I laid a token on you, you were in my arsehole.
Well, I also, because I'm in your arse, I get to add an additional 1.
Okay.
It's not an advantage having somebody in your arse, but it's an advantage being in someone's arse. So spraying the bile directly at my face up your bunghole gives you extra tokens.
Okay, so we now have a situation where there is 1 scumbag on the table, and I need to.
I reckon that's 2 moves. I reckon that's 2 moves. So basically, it's a move, a puke test, and if you pass this burst check, I think you've made it off with a pickle.
So that is 8 tokens. So that is the thing at hand. So
I was only 1 dice off with 12.
these 8 dice for the win.
Ones. Yes.
The ones.
Oh yes, sorry, missed
The
one
ones.
outside of the pool.
Yeah,
so he
the
makes
ones.
it just over. Doesn't make off the table. There we go.
100% casualties.
Yep, both teams definitely lose. You get a point for definitely losing that you could use to pick up a little bit of gear afterwards, and you would mark your what did you do checks whilst play to see if you'd get experience. So, for example, the psychobillies get what did you do's for creating a loop around at least 2 scumbags, moving and opposing a scumbag, an opponent being in a loop when they burst, creating a loop around at least 5 bile tokens, and so on. The Volden cultists have do a what did you do if you have their 5 or more bile tokens on them at a time, or have at least 13 bile tokens in hand without having burst. Which they can theoretically do with some of their abilities. So we would mark the what did you do things that we did during play, because what you do actively advances you, and then we could spend some of those off to gain experience, which next game, if the scumbags died again, we could then spend that experience to advance them. But yeah, that was a quick game of Pukeapocalypse. Everybody bursting in showers of disgusting acidic file. I think it's good fun. I enjoyed that. What do you think of that, Mike?
Yeah, really excellent. Short and I want to say bloody, but it was bily. Short and bily.
Short and bily. Well, that's the idea. And so the whole idea is you could play that game, pick up some points to maybe advance your scumbags, and then play another game immediately afterwards and get some advances and some gear on them over a quick hour and a half session. So you can pick up a copy of Pukeapocalypse from exaltedfuneral.com. If you are in the UK, I have copies available from manorkentgames.com, where you'll pay less shipping, obviously, and hopefully I'll sort out GameFound to be able to do it to the EU without customs charges, or if you're okay with playing customs charges over shipping, you could order it from me in the UK. It is going to be available in some distribution points and friendly local gaming stores, so keep an eye out for it. But for now, yeah, I think that'll be a thank you and goodbye.